Hey guys, this is Red and Blue, the channel on YouTube for all things PSG in English. Please subscribe. It's been 2 months already since that fateful night of Munich where we finally got that Champions League lifted over our heads. Can't believe time flies. It feels like it was yesterday. But yeah, 2 months ago. And now today we're getting some mercato news. Skriniar deal to Fenerbahce finally done. The player is in Turkey, is passing his medicals as I speak, and so the deal is basically getting finalized. We're looking at 7 million euro flat fee plus bonuses to take it to 10 million euro potentially for PSG, which personally I think is a great deal for a player that we got on a free from Inter back then. He had a big salary as well and a big wage in our team, and so great to get that one off the books. He's a player that struggle to show the value and he was supposed to bring to the team. So yeah, win. Everyone's happy. We get a little bit of money in the kitty. Player gets to continue with Fenerbahce, where he did well on loan for the past 6 months. He gets to still play competitive football. So happy days. Now, Fenerbahce was also looking at Asensio, who's another one of the players that we're trying to offload. And the word that we had been getting was that the player was keen, not so keen. So, negotiating with Fenerbahce, trying to get as much as he could out of them, but at the same time, not really jumping up and down at the prospect of going to Turkey. And there might be a twist in the plot that's coming his way because today we're hearing that Portuguese club Benfica could have made an offer already for the player, an offer of 11 million euro, which is not a lot. It's basically what Fenerbahce was looking at doing as well for him. And obviously, Benfica being in Portugal, it could be a much more attractive option for the player. We don't know yet what he's thinking. It hasn't really filtered out. We just know that Benfica have just lost out on Joao Felix, who went from Chelsea to Saudi Arabia, and they were hoping to actually get him over to back to Portugal. Player decided not to do that, and so they're still in the market for offensive midfielder, number 10, like versatile player for their attacking line. And Asensio really fits the grid of what they could be looking at and what would be interesting for them. So more to come on this, but yeah, 11 million for Asensio, more than happy to drive him to the airport for that price. And I think Benfica, honestly, would make a lot of sense for him. I think it's a team where he could really get some very regular playing time. He could really shine. They're competitive domestically, but also play in Europe. So once again, win, assuming they can find a contract deal that would be good enough for the player and that would really trigger him to move. So that was the two main transfer news of the day. We're still waiting to hear more in the goalkeeper saga. Nothing really new today, apart from the fact that there is definitely a lot of interest for Donnarumma. Apparently 5 different options on the table, one of which would be Man United, one of which would be Galatasaray, one of which likely would be Chelsea. So we'll have to see how that goes. The player has kind of let it leak in the media that he wouldn't be opposed to just running out his contract and staying in Paris, even if Chevalier came on board, and even if he wasn't extending his contract. I think it's not entirely out of the question. It could always happen. Obviously, he's got a contract, so we have to honor it one way or the other. I think couple of tidbits that make it go the other way. First, the club has definitely made it clear that they want to have a strong number 1 in goal and a clear number 1 in goal, and they're not interested in 2 goalkeepers competing for that spot. And so for them, I guess if Chevalier comes on board, he's the number 1 and that's it. And so even if Donnarumma stays, he'd be staying on the bench, I guess, as a number 2, and I think that's where I'm confounded as well, is that for Donnarumma, obviously Italy national team is what it is, but we're looking at a World Cup here. And so in the prospect of, could he really hope to stay competitive sitting on the bench for 1 year with a potential World Cup to play at the end of it? I think players would probably, assuming he can have a decent alternative on the table, would probably prefer to be playing for the year to get ready and to really be at its best when the time comes to head to the US for this. So I don't know, like I don't really buy into it too much. Like I said, definitely not of the question because it could happen. Like contracts are made this way, but I don't think that'd be the leading hypothesis right now. And I actually got an interesting question in the comments yesterday, which also triggered me. Someone asked me like, what would happen if Donnarumma, like if we do Chevalier and then Donnarumma decides to extend his contract, and I think obviously we'd wait until we get clarity from Donnarumma before doing Chevalier, and that's why I think that's a last-ditch meeting happening between the club and the Italian keepers this week to really see like extend now or we'll take the offer off the table, simple as, and it's just not happening. And I think if that's what happens, then we'll go to Chevalier after this. But yeah, I think that's the sequence of events where it would happen, and then ultimately, like if there was a huge mistake made somewhere, and we get into a position where we slain Chevalier already, and then Donnarumma decides to extend, I struggle. I don't know how it would happen. I think, having two top-tier goalkeepers competing for that spot, we've kind of learned from our own mistakes. It's not a good idea. And if you go back to when Donnarumma joined and Navas was our goalkeeper back then, I think it was 1 year where we had both of them competing was just horrible for both of them and really not the way of getting the best out of the players anyway. So hopefully, we'll make our decision. We'll bring Chevalier or we'll keep Donnarumma, but it will be one or the other. And whoever is there will be our starting goalkeeper and will be, the clear number one in goal. So yeah, that's to me the way it's gonna go. And I do think the club is smart enough to realize that anyway. And then a last unrelated bit of news that I wanted to bring up because my God, I love him so much. Marco Verratti did an interview in the media recently, and praised the team, praised Luis Enrique for what he's built. Still laid on some love on our old superstars of Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, saying that their contributions also helped us win the Champions League essentially. And the funny part is that he said Luis Enrique didn't push me out. Everyone is saying Luis Enrique pushed me out, but Luis Enrique didn't push me out. And actually, I had talked to Nasser before and I wanted a new challenge. I love you, Marco, but if you want a new challenge, you don't end up going to Qatar. So it's just funny to me. And I think, great team player and one of our legends, if you ask me. So good that he's not pulling a Neymar or a Messi and trashing the club in interview after leaving. But yeah, Marco, you weren't looking for a new challenge and went to Qatar. That just doesn't add up. So please, think of your PR. Anyway, that made me giggle a little bit, but my God, I love Marco Verratti forever. So nothing but love for Marco. Anyway, that's kind of what I had for you guys today. Look at that, man. 2 months ago, time flies, and we're only 6 days away now from the players being back in training. That's going to be Wednesday next week. And hopefully with a few recruits getting finalized by then, either on their way out, which seems to be the case, but also on their way in. So yeah, the next few days are going to be busy in PSG world, man. Get ready. So for now, please like this video. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with all of the PSG news right here on YouTube in English every day. And don't forget, ici c'est Paris!